Hello, moon babies. It's Molly. How are you? Welcome. Welcome to this video and welcome to my home. It is a gray, miserable March day, a fine example of winter 2, as we call it here in the Midwest. And I am dying for a bit of freshness. So we're going to begin getting the cottage prepared for spring. And first things first, we're going to get rid of most of the cobwebs, dust, open the windows, and tidy up. Harry Belafonte is my preferred spiritual cleansing artist. This is the third video in this handmade seasonal decorating series. It is a response to decorating and seasonal living videos that feature a lot of hauls, a lot of buying stuff from dollar stores or big box stores or online warehouses. This idea that we perform seasons by purchasing plastic. What we're going to do here is a little different. All the bits we're going to play with and make today come from things that are already in my studio, things I already own or find outside. This is a low buy, no buy magic zone. And you know we're going to Mod Podge some stuff, moon babies. So grab a cuppa, come on in. The first spring refresh project is to resurrect some old art. This is a photo project I made in art school about 500 years ago and recently stumbled on while rummaging around in the attic. I'm not a big bunnies and lambs person for spring, but this bird nest assemblage is equal parts springy and unnerving. So we're going to make a few repairs and pop it on the wall. I had originally planned to hang the nests salon style, but they were so tiny they got lost on the wall, and I decided to mount them to this fabric wall hanging I made a few months ago, and it helped corral them and give the nests a bit more impact. I'm still really enjoying Diana up here on the bookshelf, so we're going to give her an updated accessory. This is a collar I made from a damaged vintage pearl collar. I dyed the collar with fabric dye and then hand painted all of the beads and added some upholstery fringe. I like wearing giant necklaces with summer tops for more coverage and texture, so we're going to let her borrow it for a while. And then we're going to throw some cherry blossoms up there too. These came from the stash. These actually came from my grandma's house. And to refresh the ottoman, we're going to toss this barn hex sign on top and use it as a spring tray. I bought it for a few dollars at a flea market a couple of years ago. I really enjoy the wear and tear of the paint, that it's been rained on and been through the winter and baked in the sun. And we're going to round out that arrangement with a few very kitschy, very happy wooden tulips. I picked these up at the Tulip Festival in Holland, Michigan last year, and they're like succulent, glossy lollipops. Delicious. We're also going to change out the throw, putting the thick blanket away in the linen closet and pulling out a lighter, brighter textural throw for optimal snugglage. Moving into the dining room, I'm finally going to hang up George. This is George. I bought him on a trip to Oregon with my mom 2 years ago now, and I instantly fell in love with him, made by a very talented artist who goes by Fish Sticks. And they just haven't found the right place, and today is the day we're going to hang them on the wall. And on the mirror, I want to hang a hand-me-down egg wreath. And I'm just going to tuck a little moss into some of the bare spaces to fill it in a bit, and add a velvet ribbon and hang it over the mirror. Next, I'm going to whip up a few candle rings with leftover greens from previous projects. I'm just twisting a little bit of floral wire together and nestling the greenery pieces in. This could be a really fun way for you to refresh your altar seasonally as well. These doves were a Goodwill find, and we're going to take them to the spray booth for a little metallic glow up and make some bookends. I'd like to take a moment to thank the sponsor of today's video, you. Thank you. Thank you for watching. Thank you for being here. Thank you for your lovely comments and for your support on Patreon. You make it possible to create these videos without having to pretend that I want to sell you crap I don't like and that you don't want to hear about. So thank you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart, Moon Babies. And thank you for being who you are in the world. This grouping of statuary in the corner is still working for me, but I thought it would be fun to birdify it and add a bit of spring magic. So I'm always fascinated by the locations that birds choose to build their nests. Like when you see them in neon signs or in the wreaths on someone's front door or inside a lantern, the scale of the world is just so different for them. Now, if I were a bird, I would definitely want to live in the chest cavity of a fallen god. Like, how romantic. Let's make some eggs. While I like to make pisanki for spring, that's an activity that I save for the spring equinox. I also like to eat them. So we're going to collage a few plastic eggs saved from the thrift store to make a centerpiece for the dining room in the meantime. Dictionary pages are great for projects like this since the paper is thin and tissue-like. And we're going to make enough to fill up a nice little nest. And we're going to nestle them inside this thrifted paper mache bowl that I've painted with a checkerboard pattern on the inside, adding a little bit of moss and some nesting material. These little birds were originally purchased to add to a Yule tree, but they're perfect for this apparent spring bird takeover of the cottage. I think my little nieces will enjoy them too. Onto the kitchen with just a few little touches. We're going to play with a cloche, just stacking a few teacups from the cupboard and adding some textural nest materials. In my neck of the woods, the yellow blossoms of the forsythia herald the official arrival of spring. And while my forsythia shrubs outside are still sleeping, I wanted to bring a little bit of that joy, that zappy yellow energy inside by creating some of my own blossoms. And all you need for this project are a few sticks that you find, a couple of sheets of copy paper, and patience. I think that makes a sweet, dramatic little spring arrangement. And while we're hanging out in the kitchen together, I'm going to open a little mail. I've been waiting to open this package with you. My publisher recently wrote to tell me that Rainbow Magick is now available in German. How exciting! And I thought we could open it together. I'm always nervous to open these packages. How cool to see this. A huge kaleidoscopic thank you. Thank you to all the Rainbow Mancers who have enjoyed this book. And it is my hope that this German edition helps even more people awaken their magic. Whee! Okie dokie. Now, I'll take you for a little tour, starting in the front room. And yes, I did paint. It's not done yet, so stay tuned. Ooh, and before I forget, lots of folk in the last decorating video asked about the painting in the dining room. And yes, it is indeed a painting. It is a mural. I did a whole video on Patreon documenting that process, if that's something you're interested in. And while we're fluttering around the house, I did want to let you know that this year's live round of HOMEKRAFT 30 Days to Your Bewitching Space is open for registration right now. If interior vivification or home enchantment makes your magic crackle, you might really enjoy it. So I'll leave a link for that below. And if it's all right, I have a few wishes for you this spring, Moonfolk. I wish that you have sanctuary within and without, wherever you are. May you have an island of refuge on which you can be exquisitely freaky and free. May you have a cupboard that houses your favorite mug, and possibly the entrance to an alternate dimension with answers to all your best questions. May you be sexily and solidly resourced in all the ways that nourish you. May you regularly glow with both an earthly and otherworldly glee. May you be prosperous and a bit ridiculous in every facet of life that pleases you. May your most earnest dreams of safety and comfort snuggle up towards you now. I wish that your longings for novelty and magic land in your postbox with a satisfying plunk. May you feel safe and radiant in your ease, Moon Baby, now and in all the seasons to come. Let it be so. I hope this spring puttering around the cottage together inspires you to make your world a little more comfortable, a little more colorful, to stir up some magic in your life. I want to thank you so much for watching, for being here, and for all the magic you bring to this world, Moonfolk. And until we speak again, which will be very soon, happy spring, witch on, witch boldly, and be well.